When client account managers start working in an agency, one of our go-to processes is to start building out SOPs and frequently asked questions so we don't make the same mistake twice. On today's podcast, we're going to talk about how to create systems that your agency and team will actually use.
Welcome to the Happy Clients Podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to Happy Clients.
Katie, I think this is the number one topic when it comes to managing agencies and also CAMs. If you're a busy agency owner like most of us, you know that systems are super important, but likely the last thing on your never-ending to-do list. We obviously love a SOP or a standard operating procedure, which is a living, breathing document so that anytime your team can hand over the SOP to someone else on the team. But where do you start? Here are a few of our top tips to getting started to building the systems that your team will actually love and actually use.
And that's so important, right? They need to be used. They can live in a G drive somewhere, but they have to be revisited and updated and evergreen, and they need to be really relevant to what's happening. And that's kind of the secret of the SOP. It's not new news, but people have to actually do it, right? Enter a client account manager. This is our dream job, to update SOPs. What we always start with, and even internally for Dot & Company, is to have a really awesome onboarding system. When people are bringing on a new client, we want to make sure, my best practice is always to get everything right away. Whatever we think we might use, we could possibly use, we could use in a pinch. I want to get it all on the onboarding. When you sign on a new client and the agency owner passes it over to the client account manager, we want to make sure that onboarding system is really well practiced, well built out, and super efficient.
The next tip is really defining who's responsible for what. And this is really important for any agency because it's just understanding your role. We've all been in roles in different companies or in different jobs where maybe we don't understand if something is our responsibility or someone else's. When you are creating these SOPs, make sure you're identifying who's doing what, who is sending the actual report to the client, who is filming the Loom video, who is doing the screenshots, etc. Really getting super defined in your SOPs to define the team member is going to make everyone's buy-in so much easier, and then you'll be able to develop an org chart and proper job descriptions. That is a really important piece that we see across every single agency that we work inside.
And I think if we consider Taylor sort of this mastermind, or when she thought of this really great client account management idea, this is what you had in mind. Like, this is in Taylor's blood. And she just not only has built out these really awesome SOP templates, these onboarding, these responsibilities, org charts, everything. It definitely makes not only the job of the client account manager, we have these really awesome tools, but we know firsthand it makes agencies run a whole lot smoother, more efficient. And it's really cool to see the answers being answered by a client account manager, which is awesome. They might not have them off the top of their head, but they know where to go get them, which is just another relief off of the agency owner, and really builds that trust with the CAM. And really, a CAM can turn into the go-to person for all these questions. When we're building out an onboarding system, and we do have this really great template, this checklist available, so make sure you check it out. But we want to make sure there are key points that are hit every single time. What are the assets that you need? Is the G drive built out? I even love putting the how-to in every section of the onboarding, how to access the assets. And then every single time, if somebody needs to access them and maybe somebody's sleeping, they're on the other side of the world, they know how to get them. A quick Loom video to show where everything's living. That's awesome. There's templates available, and email templates just really make the process that much smoother. It's on brand. It's the same every time. Every client is treated the same way, which is really awesome to have this streamlined process where clients are definitely impressed. And then also it's a little bit easier for internal as well because it's the same every single time. Email templates are huge. Taylor, what else goes in the onboarding checklist? I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of things.
Happiness surveys are really important.
What is a
Gifts.
happiness survey? Like, what if people don't even know? That's a secret weapon of ours. The happiness.
Yeah, I love a happiness survey. So essentially, there are these questionnaires that we built in to Dot & Company. Now we pass these along to agencies we work in, but it's just checkpoints. How was your onboarding experience and how can we make it better? And these little touch points allow you down the road to know, are your clients happy? Are you doing a good job? And then you can ask for testimonials or referrals and not feeling awkward. These happiness surveys are just in that process so that we remember as a team to actually send surveys to clients.
Yeah. And they're even built out by weeks because there are timeframes. When is the best time to get a testimonial? And maybe that's 1 to 2 weeks after launching, or is it like a launch testimonial versus we've been doing this for 3 years. How are we doing testimonials? It is nice to even have those broken out so granular of like, when's the best time to send them? So, you're getting a really great testimonial from your client.
Yeah. And Katie, I think we are so obsessed with the onboarding process, but it's something that just looks so different in every agency. And it's important to just customize it and just ensure that you and your team know that it's a living, breathing process. It's going to change. It's going to get better and more refined, and you'll make mistakes, but it's something that is a living, breathing document.
Yeah, it's evergreen. And what's really cool about something like an onboarding checklist or template or system is that clients can really know what to expect. It's going to be 1 week of this, 1 week of this, and then ads are going to be launched. As long as we have this, we can launch in the next 3 days. So those timelines are crucial for clients. And I think they're crucial for the internal team as well. It really keeps everything on track and on timeline, which is super important.
Yes. As we keep talking about these SOPs and documents and processes, the most important piece of the puzzle is that your team is going to use them. Getting that buy-in. And as the leader of your agency, you need to make sure that your team is using these and checking in with your team and ensuring that things are being used. And maybe that means that you have a weekly task for your team members to update the SOP, or maybe it's every day you want to see that everyone's tasks are checked off, or whatever it is for you. Just ensuring that they are using the systems is going to be key for your agency's growth.
I actually have a pro tip, and I feel like it fits in right here, but I've worked in agencies before that are 10 to 15 clients, and there's one standard operating procedure, one SOP. Of course, I create a CAM SOP, but I've recently worked with an agency that has really broken out all the SOPs, and it is just so exciting. And I find them even more useful when they're 1 to 2 pages rather than like a 40-page document. That's definitely a pro tip I can recommend if that works for your agency, breaking it out into very simple, small SOPs to ensure that they're used and listened to and referred to. That is super helpful because we all know sifting through a huge document isn't always our go-to best practice.
Wow, Katie's hot tip.
That's a pro tip. You heard it here first, guys.
I love it. All in all, if you're growing and scaling an agency, having SOPs that your team actually use are going to get you from 1 to 10 to 20 clients and beyond, and keeping everyone happy in their roles, understanding what they're responsible for, and just keeping everybody on track. And that is something that we work at probably every day over here at Dot. Highly recommend you implement inside of your agency as well.
Totally. Make sure those SOPs are used because they're basically like gold. If you guys need any template or any ideas, don't forget to visit dotandcompany.co/checklist. We have great resources there and a ton of stuff available to make your agency run a little smoother. Until next time.
Cheers to happy clients.